I know that's his video, but Bucks are 2-0.
I'm fire your fat
go,
boy. I
baby.
scored, not you. Don't forget it. Look at Team Christmas over here.
Bro, hey, I drafted my own team. I finally get my guys. This is gonna be so good. You know, my team is, you know.
You took more time to come up with that than Nazi you did this week. Oh.
There's a lot of people here who are soft. What's
Welcome to DD Live. I'm your host, Angel Camacho, and here with my esteemed colleague, Jose Perra Guerra, and we are brought to you by PK Realty. And Kevin Nunez, we love you on this show. Well, at least half of this show loves you.
One of us does.
Well, gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. This is the reigning best show in DD Sports, and we're coming in hot. There's a lot to talk about. In week 2, we got a couple interviews, special guests. There's some rumors. Read that ticker. There's a lot of interesting information for you guys to see, especially what I assess to be the rankings of this league and rankings of quarterbacks and lack thereof. You're going to see some inclusions, some exclusions, but read that ticker. In regards to week 2, Perra, talk to your boy. What's up?
Hey, it was yeah, I mean, shoot, the Bengals 3-0. I think I'm pretty sure they won every game 4-1. And I think Alfredo, I don't know if there's actual video. Well, there is video because I know that man sent it in, but I don't know if there's like good video. But I know Alfredo had a hell of a one-handed pick. I think like on the goal line and ran it all the way back. I think for the game-winning touchdown. But they dominated. I mean, they won every game 4-1. I haven't played them yet, but I scrimmaged them. I know the defense is gonna be a little. Obviously, where they're going to struggle because with Alfredo and his offense, they're going to put up points. But, man, I mean, shoot, you go 3-0 and you put up a stat line of 12-3. That's crazy. The BUCS and Tronky coming back 3-0. Of course, you know, that's, yeah, from the dead. I mean, shoot, they're in the right conference to do so, right? Okay. So, and then I was looking at them because I know we talked about this before, and I was like, oh, yeah, you know, the Giants, hey, you guys are 6-0. You had another week of 3-0. And you know, MVP leader. I don't know. I don't want to say by a mile, but definitely the MVP leader. I haven't really taken a look at the stats defensively, but I would imagine, you know, Chris D being the most athletic, one of the more athletic quarterbacks, he has to be up there in terms of defensive stats.
Well, he cracked into the QB top 5 rankings of after week 2 because after going 6-0, he is a DD quarterback. Yeah. He is a DD quarterback.
Yeah, you know, at the end of the day, right, you got to beat who's in front of you, and you got to come out with the dubs.
He's knocking on that door because he's either losing in semis. He's 6-0 right now. He's dominating.
Yeah, you know, I mean, they beat the Chargers 4-3. You know, I can't say much about that game. I mean, I have no idea, obviously, right? But then you beat the Jaguars 3-1. You could have put up 4 against the Jaguars. You know, I'm not crazy about it. And then shoot, obviously the game of the week, you know, the game of the season so far, Giants, Dolphins 4-3, and I think Paz had a hell of a play to finish that game off. So, you know, like I said, props to them. They're 6-0. We haven't played each other yet. You know, we don't play them this week either. So, you know, we'll see when we play them. You know, hopefully for my, you know, for my reasons, I hope they're undefeated by the time we play them, so we can give them that first L. But, you know, those are the 3 teams that definitely stand out to me. And I mean, I don't want to harp on things that we've been hearing probably throughout other shows. We're going to continue to hear throughout other shows. But, man, the Jaguars, you know, 0-6 with Drew, you know, what everyone assumed was and thought, right, on paper was the best team top to bottom.
Except me. I had them bottom since
You're right. I mean, I was on the fence.
Everyone told me that I was wrong.
Yep, 100%. I was on the fence a little bit. I wasn't completely sold on, but I mean, shoot, I played them week 1. I was like, bro, top to bottom, this roster is ridiculous. And yeah, man, you know, finally they made a move, you know, so we'll see. Obviously, week 3 has been, we've had 3 weeks. I think in reality, they obviously get better, right? Anytime you get rid of a top tier player, you got to get rid of your worst player. And I think they improved significantly, right, from Juanes to Javi. And they didn't really lose much. Maybe probably a wash. If not, they probably got better athletically speaking from Danny Dominguez to Marley. But just I'm not sold on Drew on that being necessarily a good move for Drew, given that he doesn't really use his tier sixes. And although he improved his tier six, his tier six dramatically, I don't know how much he's going to be able to use him or how much he's going to use him. Period. But I do think, obviously, at the end of the day, anytime you improve your tier six and the top flight player is a wash, you obviously come out winning. So, I mean, I definitely never want to see a team go 0-16 or 0-15-1 or whatever the case may be. So, shoot, I'm hoping they get a dub, this week.
I have them going 2-1 this week. I think they turn it around. I don't think Drew sucks.
Granted, right?
I don't think Alex Montano sucks. I just don't think they got the right things going. They have favorable matchups. They're going to be playing the Broncos. I have the Jaguars winning there. And they're going to be playing the Oilers, and I have the Jaguars winning there. I think those are two very winnable games that they're going to go 2-1 this week.
Yeah.
And that kind of puts them, at 2-7? 6 points?
Yeah, I mean, shoot, that puts them right back in the middle of things. I think the Ravens are the one in the 6th spot right now in our conference, and they only have 1 win. So, I think they have a tie, but
right.
It's
4 losses, I believe.
They're in the right conference, right? They're definitely in the right conference to have gotten off to such a bad start. But like you said, matchup wise, it looks like they're on paper. They should be good to go for at least get 1 dub. But I feel like that's been the case throughout 6 games so far.
I think they turn it around.
I think so too. I know that connection between Drew and Montano is big.
I had written off the Jaguars off the rip, and everyone was pretty high on them, yourself included. I'm going to keep beating that drum, and I think they turn it around this week. They're going to go 2-1. One of the things you brought up, Bengals, interesting tidbit. Yes, look at their PD, +9. They went 4-1 in all 3 games. Granted, the haters that will tell you that it's Fredo's gimmick offense and that Fredo's not a good football player will tell you that they only played the Falcons, that they only played the Oilers, and that they only played the Broncos, that they 4-1. Now, the most impressive part, and actually this is what the Giants did, and is the reason why they were put with that stamp of fraudulent, because their strength of schedule wasn't the same thing. So in all fair honesty, that's why it was 4-1. The reason I bring it up that it's important is 2 things. One, I see their schedule this week. They're playing a bad Ravens team. They're going to be tested by Joan, who is struggling at the same time, and the Cowboys. So I think this week solidifies who the Bengals really are. If they put a 3-0, which I believe they're going to put up a 3-0, it's going to put them in that upper echelon of the teams to beat going into the latter end of the season, going for the playoffs. Now, the most interesting part of what they did in week 2 was, in essence, the 4-1s. They went up 12 drives, scored 12 times. They never rotated. I think that's the equivalent of a perfect game for a cap, for a QB cap, because 4-4-4, 12 up, 12 down. Look at the breakdown of his stats. Like, Fredo had a perfect quarterback.
Like I said at the beginning, I know one of those touchdowns was a pick
MVP.
6.
That's another MVP.
No, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
I think the
right?
3 names, I think the 3 names that have to resonate for everyone, and I think everyone else has to chase towards them: Johan from the Finns, Chris D from the Giants, Fredo from the Bengals. I think those are the 3 best
There's
teams.
no debate.
I think those are the 3 best teams. I think those are the 3 best players for 3 completely different reasons.
Yeah. And then let me back up right for a second, because let me actually reinforce the point that I made against the Giants and I've been making for 2 weeks. And now I'm going to essentially back up what you said in terms of the Bengals. They went out and they beat the teams they were supposed to. Now, what they did that the Giants didn't do week 1 and kind of iffy week 2, right, in my opinion, is they dominated those teams. They said, hey, we're better than you, and there's no question about it. We're going to beat you 4-1. No way you can slice it. There's nothing you can tell me to make it seem like 4-1 was a tough game.
Nobody got to stop.
Right? But again, like, there's literally no way you can tell me, oh, 4-1 was a close game. No. There's no way you can tell me 4-1 was a close game. 4-2, we've said it before, 4-2, but it'll be a close 4-2 a team maybe scores really quick or they have a pick six, something like that. But 4-1 against the teams you're supposed to beat
3 times
shows your dominance, right? So that's where I would say I like them a lot, right? And granted, I'm gonna give the S to the Giants because at the end of the day they beat the Dolphins. But I think Alfredo is right there at number 2 as an MVP candidate right now. It's not a far number 2.
Yep. I think those are the 3 guys. Now, with the trades and the transactions that went on, who were the winners? Who were the losers? Were the Jaguars the overall winners of everything that transpired in between week 2 and what's upcoming to week 3?
No, man. I would honestly say, I think in my opinion, I think the Saints are the ones that came out winning the most. I think we all pretty much, consensus right amongst the people that know DD or whatever was the fact that, yeah, you have Gianni, you have Sergio, and you have Chris Marzullo. Those are all 3 great tier 6s individually. You just had them all 3 together, right? So their value was non-existent. And, they somehow, some way, I don't know if it was his doing, in the day, he approved it, it went through. He was able to get rid of all 3 of them, right? While getting back, he was able to get rid of all 3 of those guys and keeping Georgie, who's not only his boy, but the number 1 player and the horse on that team. And, he got back 2 really good pieces in Freddie and Andy. He gets a real true tier 5 in Kevin and a real true tier 6 in Marin. Their roles are going to be a lot better defined, in my opinion, there. I think you're going to get a lot more buy-in because I think the more vocal person now there is going to be Kevin G.
Here's a little fun fact about Marin. Not playing this week. Team going to have to go 5 hard. Might drop. Because he's going to have to miss a second week for a competition.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, right? It's tough.
That's tough because that's a good tier 6.
And that's the thing. And not only is he's a real defined tier 6, he's a good tier 6, and he knows his role, right? He knows his role, and he brings a lot to the table when it comes to the D. He's going to bring a lot of, even though you not necessarily expect that, right, from necessarily a tier 6, especially a DD veteran that maybe doesn't play flag as much as maybe other tier 6s do. But he has like that DD knowledge and just like, hey guys, we're good. Let's just calm down.
And solid flag puller.
Yep.
Now,
so I think they're the biggest winners in all the trades that I'm looking at. That 3-team trade they won, the other trade that we just talked about, the Jaguars and the Oilers, that was pretty much a wash in my opinion. And then I don't think there was another trade made before that. So
now, okay, so moving on to where we stand with the teams, we could agree that Giants, Bengals, Finns, Cowboys, in no particular order, are the best 4 teams in the league.
No doubt.
And we can make the same counter argument that the Ravens, and maybe we could toss in there the Rams, Broncos, Chargers, like all in one, and just pick one out of a lotto. And then add them to Jaguars, Oilers, Saints, and that's at the bottom. Yeah. But then we have a middle part of the league where that's where the Seahawks, the BUCS, the Vikings, and the Falcons come. And that's the middle bunch. And then which one of these are the pretenders? Which ones are the contenders? Which one needs one move? Look, the Falcons are in trouble. Raymet got hurt at the Orlando Open. He finished his games, but he's going to take some tender love and care or either sit out a week. But can that team actually go a week without Raymet? Because I think that's 0-3 without Raymet. Who's going to throw there? Clint?
Yeah, it's going to be iffy. I would imagine it's probably going to be Wakeman, but it's going to be iffy, right? It's going to be definitely
be iffy. For Raymet, Raymet has to drop. Who do you get?
Oh, man, that's tough.
I can't come in. I would love to save the Falcons, but I can't be there for playoffs. UM's gonna play FSU. That's looking like a primetime game.
Yeah, no, that's tough. But I mean, right? Who I would say is pretenders from, for example, in the North, Chiefs, Chargers, Vikings. I don't think anyone more pretender per se, right?
The Chargers. The Chargers are they're not even in the conversation.
Well, as of right now, they're ahead of the Vikings.
They're
because of point differential.
They're Bafuki.
but I don't think they're bad. They're gonna get in the playoffs, right? So I think they have to be in that middle tier because I don't think they're gonna be
Clapped first round.
Granted, right? They're one of those teams that has potentially moves to be made, and they can get significantly better, in my opinion.
Get to the moving.
But yeah, I mean, that would be the worst team in my opinion out of those three in the North. And then in the South, between Seahawks, Falcons, BUCS, and Broncos, I mean, I think
no, Broncos, they're not even in the conversation either. They're boofy as well.
Yeah, then I mean, but granted, they're in the fifth seed, right?
It's Chiefs, Seahawks. That's the conversation right there.
Well, I mean, I would say both of us are definitely contenders.
You guys are in a point of inflection here.
Yeah, I think I would say we're both, contenders. Myself, obviously, I believe in my ability and my DD skills all day, and I think I have the team that's built to win. I just think we have a team that's built to rotate, right? Once we make teams rotate, we're gonna have those advantages, and pretty significant advantages in my opinion. So we're a team that's built to rotate. So are the Chiefs. They're kind of iffy for me, kind of in the middle, right? With having, Mikey, Rafa, and Jeremy in that middle. And you can probably argue I would probably put Andres over Jeremy. I haven't seen Jeremy play much yet, so I can't really make that judgment. But I'm gonna, and I don't think it's probably too biased, but I'm gonna take Ernie, Suazo, and let's just say Mo, or let's just say Louis over Mikey, Rafa, or Ralphie, and Jeremy and or Andres. So I think we're a little bit better. I think we're slightly better. They have the DD knowledge. In Devin, Georgie, Andres, Ralphie's a good solid player. So is Mikey. But I'm obviously gonna take myself over them. The Falcons, exactly. I mean, the Falcons is tough.
That Ray Med question mark.
That question mark is a big question mark. But then at the same time, they answered a lot of questions week one going 2-1 without Dusty, right? So it's tough, right? It's tough to say that they're not really a contender. And I think the BUCS are here to stay. They're gonna be able to score on a lot of people. Granted, they're one of those teams where I think if you get them into rotations, it's gonna be tough for them, especially if you abuse those mismatches that they're gonna have. Because they have essentially 3 tier 6s on defense. After that second rotation, they're gonna have 3 of those guys in the field at all times. So it's gonna be tough once you get them into maybe a longer game. So you just gotta, you gotta go balls to the wall, try to get 1-2 stops those first 3 drives, and then just tire them out or outsmart them with just rotation wise. But I would definitely say that the worst team out of those 6 is definitely to me the Chargers. A quarterback that's not proven in DD, and someone that doesn't want to make moves, and they have 2 tier 6s. Pretty simple at that. And one of the quote unquote horses is not all the way back yet. And I love Chink, but I mean, he hasn't shown me anything to say, okay, he's back, right? So that's why I would say, now having a quarterback that's not proven in DD, 2 tier 6s, and one of those quote unquote horses not being all the way back yet, I think is what brings them down to the bottom, because every other team, the other 5 teams, Tronky, Perra, Devin, Joan, and Remet, all proven in DD to some degree, right? So
that's very interesting. Extremely interesting. One of those players is Tronky. One of those players that he could skyrocket. He could propel his team, which obviously week 1 they were in shambles. Week 2 they're back. It's a tough scenario to judge, because how can you also judge what they're gonna do from here on outward? We have the benefit of it because we're gonna bring.
He's here.
We're bringing this man on the show, and bringing the man that has been gatekeeping Air It Out for the last 2 tournaments, the reigning champion who sent Nas packing home at Weekend Warrior Worlds and 5-man Air It Out, and your reigning Orlando Open QB for Air It Out, Game Time's very own, DD's very own, Week 2's ultimate boss, Tronky.
Thanks for having me, guys.
I wish I had a cool ass nickname like that. Like everyone just calls me Tito. But Tronky, that's a good one. And you also have and my favorite one is the signature touchdown celebration. Can we get one?
Guns blazing.
Can you do it for me, please?
Boom.
No. That was like a water gun. Like that was like a Nerf water gun. You got to give me a before the end of the conversation.
Kids are sleeping, man. Kids are
But
sleeping.
nah, before the end of this interview, I gotta get you so riled up that you gotta finish the card. So that boom, boom, boom. You know, like you just hit Lulu on a PCP, bro, in a final, dog. Or is it Duke that just caught another 5-and-out on us?
Another 5-and-out.
Oh, I was out. Well, Tronky, talk to me, man. What did you do, bro? What pep talk did you give your boys in the huddle, man? Like, what is it that you do? What is it that you do? You start like turning people's nipples in the huddle. You start humiliating them. What is it you do that you went from week 1 from playing complete dog water to now being contenders? Talk to me.
Bro, in all honesty, it was the trade, man. It was just the Ham and Roger pickup, like that everybody thought I lost in the trade.
No,
But,
because
bro,
we said it. Dogo Dufalo on the same team. We like that was said. And you went out there and you did the damn thing. So please, sir, say it like people actually talk crap about you because you're saying it too nonchalant because people were doubting you after week 1. Myself.
yeah, it seems like something that happens a lot, you know. I have a bad week and they just assume that's just what's gonna happen. But I always figure it out somehow. I mean, bro, but it's just energy, man. And from what I've learned in DD, if you ain't got people that want to play for you or believe in you, in a sense, like it ain't worth having them on your team, bro. And don't worry about what everybody else thinks, because everybody thought that I was getting destroyed on the trade and Johan got off on me again, and I went 3-0 and he went 1-2. So,
Yeah.
Damn. You've been called out. Nice. Now, 3 games that you got this week. You got Saints as one of your games. You got
Favorable
Rams,
schedule.
another game, and you got Vikings. I'm sorry?
no, Giants.
No, the Giants. I said he has a favorable schedule.
Yeah,
He can
and then the
easily go
last game is the
2-1,
Giants.
3-0.
And I'm being completely dead honest with you. I picked you to go 2-1. I have you beating the Saints decisively. I have you beating the Rams decisively. I love Lulu. I just don't love Lulu on the Rams or the Rams, period. I do have you losing to the Giants, but that could be a toss-up. I don't know what Giants we're gonna get.
Yeah, they're missing Mali, so they're gonna have to go 5 hard. It's gonna be their last game of the day. So, you know.
So
Oh,
how do you feel? How do you feel going into this week where you were in week 2 with the moves? How the guys are feeling? You know, like what is Roger bringing Saturday morning? Is it patelito? Like what is it? What? Talk to me.
I don't know. I think NWO put him to use this weekend, so I hope I got a healthy Roger. But I know Ace has been taking care of him. But I think we're looking at 2 new look teams, you know. Like I wish it was the Saints from before so I can smash them easy. And I wish it was the Rams from before because that shit was fucking a cakewalk. But now, you know, it's 2 new look teams, so we really don't know what we're getting from them. But I think we match up fairly well against both those teams. And Berra saying Molly was missing. I didn't know that. That changed it.
And the Saints are missing Marin too. So you're playing 2 teams that are going 5 hard.
See, Chris kept away from me this week. He didn't want to tell me.
You got free rotations, brother.
Hey.
That's right. Very, very good favorable games.
Got to be in the know of everything. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying, man. I think, you know, especially if you make it light work for that first game, I think you guys are going to be in prime position to go 3-0. And given that it's the Giants' last game of the day, you know, with the heat and all the shenanigans that go on in DD with the drinking and stuff. So, you know, you never know. Maybe they're dead by that game. And shoot, at the end of the day, you got to beat who's in front of you. So
I know they have a hard schedule too, though, because if I'm not mistaken, I think they play the Cowboys. So they play us and the Cowboys. That's 2, you know, those ain't gimme games. So they have a little hard schedule themselves, the Giants.
Yeah. They play you guys, Cowboys, and then the Ravens. But same thing. Ravens are missing Flacco, aka Peanut. So it's not much there. And I think they got worse in the trade. So
yeah, of course, bro.
Now, Tronky, let me ask you a question. Outside of Lulu, who in DD do you see that could be that difference maker? Like, not Lulu, so you can't like toss that man out.
Yeah.
Like, who do you see in DD that you're like, this guy can make a difference in DD? Give me someone off the radar, off the grid, something of what you've been able to see, because it's a new set of eyes. Sometimes I feel like we regurgitate the same names and we don't give certain players the certain due. So the idea of bringing on different voices onto the show is that, like, I want to see it through a different prism. I don't want to hear the same regurgitated names.
No, I'm a firm believer in that too, because I think that a lot of us look
Like,
at
does
these.
Ham suck? Because, like, everyone says
No.
that he's boofy, and you know, and then you got him on your squad. So, you know, talk to me about Ham.
A great version of Ham, and I can only go off of what I've seen. You know, like, we were competitive in every game, so we weren't down. Like, I like to judge players off of when we're not doing too good to see what they, you know, what they're gonna do after that. And as of right now, I can't say anything bad about the kid because he balled out and he played hard throughout the whole, you know, the 3 games. A player that I think that's in the league right now that could be really, really good, but I feel like he's handicapped on that team is Kukuyu. I think Georgie could be really good in DD, like really, really good in DD, because he can do a lot of things. And bro, he's decisively, like, he's not slow. He runs really good routes. I know he does a lot of like field work and stuff like that with the little group that Lulu does with a lot, like with the Kurt, you know, those kind of guys. So I think Kukuyu is a guy that in DD can be like really, really well. Like, he could be like a really, really good player for a lot of people. Like, I know a lot of people that can put him to really good use.
Okay.
I would say Kukuyu right now, from what I've seen out there. Like, I mean, the games that I've refed, I haven't seen anybody that stands out from like the newer guys.
What about who do you hate? Not hate, because I know you're a competitor, but like, ¿quién te da like un dolor de cabeza? Like, when you go against, like, damn, I have to go against this guy, like, defensive type, whether he's playing safety, whether he's playing corner in DD, that you're like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to grind for my 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, and DD,
they might not be boom, boom, boom. They might be pew, pew, pew.
Yeah, no. And DD, I think at least the hardest matchups that I've had, and I've played him a lot, has been David defensively. Just because he knows it really well,
everywhere, bro.
Knows where to put people and stuff like that. Like, I think that defensively, he's been the hardest matchup I've had so far.
He knows how to cancel out the like your bad tears and stuff, and how to like
bad. Yeah. He did really, like, last year. Peña, him and Peña were one-on-one a lot, and I love Peña to death, but he didn't win those battles. You know, so I had to start like decoying Peña, like getting him out of the way so I can try to take advantage of other situations. So David by far right now has been the one that has caused me the most trouble.
Now, if I told you to start, bench, cut, all right, and I give you Johan, and Fredo, start, bench, cut.
And DD or regular?
DD. Or regular. Or both.
That's different.
No. DD.
There's about to be a whole entire like 15-minute segment. I already saw Tron, like everything with all the data was coming up, and it was like, he's like, oh my God, no, man, there's no.
I would probably start in DD, Fredo, bench, Ballhead, and cut Big John.
Okay.
And then in regular flag, I would start Baldhead. I would start Baldhead, bench Alfredo, and cut John probably. Right now, in this part of,
I would have to agree.
Okay.
Just because, you know, Alfredo's he played really well, and which is one of the first times I got to see him play in pro, and it was against us, and he did well, man. I mean, he scored, I think, every time but once, you know, against us. So.
And Alfredo's one of those guys that I feel like he's able to do a lot with less.
Oye, tranquilo, I have Ferraris, bro.
Relax. But Alfredo didn't grow up playing with those Ferraris that he has now.
No, I know. Bro, this guy's throwing to Peña, DK, like Trick, like stop it. Quit playing with the boy, bro. Like, I recruit talent. Keyshawn Young, Miami Pie, chill.
Yeah, but Big John is really good too, dude.
He's no slouch. He's no slouch. I picked what I would consider the three best quarterbacks right now. That I'm not going to put you, brother. You're going to put yourself first.
No, yeah, but I feel like Joan, if he
And
starts,
I feel like the other week I put Perra like there, and everyone was beating Perra's ass up. So we couldn't. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it to my colleague here. Look, he was already disappearing on me. He was walking out.
the problem with Miami quarterbacks, bro, is that we're all fighting for the same talent.
Yeah,
and it's hard, bro. It's hard to field the team, and Joan's just the big Joan has gotten this shit into that every time. I believe, at least from what I can see.
More times than not.
good.
Yeah.
Defense. Well, now another guy that we're bringing into into the show here, and it's one of those pestering defensive personalities that we have in the league, and a man that has the NAS logo on the back of his jersey this season. One of those upper echelon teams that we have. One of the teams that we believe are top 4, Captain Peter Delgado from the Cowboys. Peter, welcome to the show. How are you feeling?
What's up, brother? Good, man. Thank you for having me.
So talk to me, man.
About time to do something, bro.
How's Cowboys camp feeling? How's Cowboys camp feeling?
It's good, man. About time. This is
Wait, hold on, time
by
out.
far.
Are you in a car in Hialeah right now?
I don't live in Hialeah. Never lived in Hialeah. I'm in
Okay.
Miami. I'm in Bay Harbor, Miami Beach, Florida, brother.
Okay, no, I just want to know your whereabouts. I needed it for sure.
I am in the car though, because I got kids at the house and she won't leave me alone. So,
Oh, okay, fire. Okay, so
but yes, I am in the car.
So how's Cowboys camp feeling?
Good, man. Think we're we got something good here. To be honest, I think this is by far my best team that I've had in 4 seasons. 3 full seasons. I had to drop 1 season, but I think this is by far my best team. So I'm excited. Obviously, I got the GOAT with me, so I'm excited.
Will you feel that it's cheap that you get a start because you have David? And
call
before
it what
answer
you
that
want.
que-
You could
and before you answer that question, I don't feel cheap at all because baby, I got that star because of David.
listen. Like I was about to say, like you can call it what you want. You can put an asterisk next to it. You can call it what you want, brother. I want to get him his 5th. He gets me my 1st.
No, we have to
I'm
call it
happy.
the star David now. Then like Didi has to do
Perfect.
something for like 5 stars. And then like, I hope nobody says like anti-Semitic or sacrilegious, but like we have to do like a David Elias star of David. And
100%, 100%.
5 stars, Asito, like in the back of the jersey. And we have to like Messi, like they did like a whole like jersey for him. I think David definitely should.
I agree.
I think so. And plus, that if Cowboys win, Nas wins, and we go celebrate the thing.
Oh yeah, I'm ready. Yeah, I heard. I've seen you. I've seen your celebration, so I'm excited.
You just have to look at the intro of this show.
I've seen it. I've seen it exactly. I've seen it. He's had quite a few of them. So
this hoodie has seen things. This hoodie has seen things. It's been places.
Listen, I
was earned, man.
I've gone my first season from Daniel Elias to my 4th season, David.
Oh no, you upgraded, brother. It's like
not a bad upgrade. So
you went from
I'll take it.
You went from like the the electric Mustang that's like a crossover. You went from that to like Eleanor.
Yeah, so
like something like
I'm
that.
excited. I like it. I like what I see. So
all right. So all right. So Peter, talk to me. Your team, not per se like it's blowing anyone out of the water offensively. You guys are a defensive team, and a lot of it revolves on giving the ball to David and a lot of misdirection. So that has not worked in the playoffs. Do you think that that's something that you're going to stick to, or you're going to have to play more of a conventional cornerback like the guy on the other screen here?
I think I'm gonna have to do. I think it's gonna have to be a little bit of both. I think I'm gonna have to put the ball in my hands a little bit more. But at the end of the day, we are just playing these teams once. So by the time I play you week 2, and then by the time you see us in the playoffs, for the most part, my offense is gonna be a little bit different. My defense is just fine. Our offense is gonna put up points. I think I have 12, 14 touchdowns. David has 8. So the ball staying in my hands a little bit more regardless, but the best thing about that is if you don't send your 2 best defenders toward David and I, you guys are in trouble. Right. So whether it happens now or in the playoffs, if you don't have your 2 best players coming after us, it's gonna be a long time. It's gonna be a long day.
Looking at your schedule, You don't have an easy week. Game
Not at
1, you
all.
have the Rams. And I have the Cowboys winning that game decisively. I think Lulu's going to tire you guys out a little bit. And it'll be like a 4-2 win. I
agree.
I think that's fair to say.
I think I got Bob's forcing that in there to Lulu a lot,
but then game 2, this is where it gets interesting. Cowboys Giants. You guys won that you guys didn't win that first one, and you guys lost, I believe, by was 1 score, right? You lost that game 4-3 to the Giants.
to the Giants.
Yes.
No, I haven't played the Giants.
You guys haven't played the Giants?
Yeah. No. You only
Okay,
we only played them once.
up. So you got
Yeah, we
Giants.
haven't played them.
You got Giants up now. I got
Correct.
you. I got you beating the Giants. How do you feel?
I like it. I like the matchup. I'm sure Chris will disagree, but as far as matchups go, I think Chris and I have a similar. I think we play similar football, but I think personally, I think I'm a better quarterback. And matchup for matchup, I think David has the advantage on anybody on his team. So whether Chris wants to cover him, and then Martinez has to rush me, like I said, you have to send your 2 best players at us. Because if not, I still have Zuzo running routes, and I got Yasid, and I got Angel, which is my sleeper, and I have Peter. But Angel, my tier
Peter
5
not
is probably not. But
I think
I'm just saying.
I think one of the things like the same way that you could say that the Bucks and the Finns are similar in the way that the teams are set up. The Chiefs and the Seahawks are similar in the way that they're set up. I think you and the Cowboys and the Giants are very similar. I think it's like the same type of quarterback. I think it's the same type of offense. It's the same type of hard-nosed defense.
I would even say that it's more of the Giants this season is more of like a Peter team from before, where he wants to be more of that quarterback. Obviously, you draft David for the reason that you can play that gimmicky offense, give him handoffs, give him that. Obviously, if not, you wouldn't draft David to be a number 1 receiver. But I think the Giants resemble more of like last year or the other seasons of Peter's team, where he's the guy and he's trying to play quarterback, and that's what Chris D is doing, So
yeah,
your biggest test is going to be your 3rd game. You played Lulu, then you're tired. Then you play the Giants, same type
gritty
of
game.
team. Going to be a gritty game, 3-2 dub, 4-3 dub, but it's going to be a gritty game. Then you're going to go against the most prolific offense against a team that went 12 drives. Yo, Tronky, you didn't you guys were talking about this earlier. The Bengals went up, and that was the thing that you picked Fredo for your DD team, and that's what I found interesting, because Fredo went up 12 drives, scored 12 times. They never rotated week 2. They won every single game 4-1. So it was like before you knew it, you were down 2-1 or you're down 3-1, game over. 4th drive, boom, game over. 4th drive, boom, game over. So I think that's the biggest test. I personally have you guys losing that game. I think that offense is going to be too much, too late in the day. You guys are going to be grinded out, and I think they're gonna run over you 4-2. How does that make you feel?
Yeah, I'll take it. The Bengals is like you said, man, it's a good team. Fredo at quarterback, and I didn't hear those stats, but that's pretty impressive. So to go out there and not have to rotate, and hopefully it's a little different. Hopefully they have to grind out some games too, but that's going to be our biggest test for sure on Saturday, I believe. So if we can get those first 2 games out the way.
Are you going to let David drink so that he could play shadow games and mind games with Fredo? We're going to keep.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. He can do it. Yeah, David can do whatever he wants.
All the mind games he wants.
Okay. Absolutely. I need yeah. I know. And then they play together, so I know whether his offense or not, man, it's a tough offense to go against. So it's gonna be a nice test for us. So I think with that game, I think with this Saturday for us, once it's all said and done, it's gonna, with our record, whether we go 2-1 or 3-0, it's gonna set the bar whether we're here, we're in the middle of the pack, or where we don't belong. So I think this is a big test for us.
I think in your conference, right, it's gonna be that 3-headed monster of you, Bengals, and Dolphins, right? So I think even if you guys go 2-1, or if you guys go 1-2, I think you 3, in my opinion, have still separated yourselves from the rest of that conference. So I think, you three are the teams to beat. And obviously, if I have to pick one right now, because I've played you guys and I haven't played the Bengals yet, even though I scrimmaged them, I would have to say you guys are the team to beat. I trust your defense more than I trust theirs.
Okay.
Yeah. Hold on. Their team is it's Julio. They don't have
AJ.
Carlos.
No, it's
AJ.
Julio.
That's
AJ,
the one. AJ's their safety, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's their other guy?
Tony's
Enzo.
their tier 6.
Tony, Enzo, and Jonathan.
Oh, Enzo.
Big
Enzo.
Jonathan.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
I like Enzo.
Yeah,
So.
I like the team, and I think it fits Alfredo. But I think until I see him play, in live DD, until I play him and I'm able to assess that, I think you guys match up better. And I trust your defense to get stops. I trust their offense a little bit more, but I trust your defense.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I got David at safety this season, man. Just for that reason, I can kind of let him play him and Yasid play that left side and just kind of let me run free on the right side. And I think that kind of takes pressure off them on that side. So whether I get beat or not, I think I'd rather just put it on my shoulders and then on defense we'll just we'll run with it like that.
Okay. Now, a couple questions I want to ask you, Peter. So, we want to dive in deep into your psyche and understand you better as a captain and as a DD member. So when I ask you to start bench cut, I'm going to give you 3 quarterbacks and I want you to start one. I want you to bench one and I want you to cut one. Okay. And this is the player pool. I'm going to give you Tronky. I'm going to give you Johan and I'm going to give you Joan. And I'm going to give you Fredo. So I'm going to give you 4 quarterbacks, those 4. So you're going to start bench cut and one you don't even name. Okay.
And this is obviously strictly done deal.
Strictly done deal, yes. Because
so
I would actually trust your judgment. Like if in travel ball, if we were asking questions from 10 years ago, because as of late, you don't want to travel off and you don't want to play competitively. So I can't trust you on the grand scale for DDS.
And are we talking this season?
Yeah.
Or just overall done deal? This season?
No, yeah. Start
bench cut.
Start bench cut and one don't even mention.
Say this. All right, so I will start.
Tronky, we got to see where he.
I'm gonna stop. Jen, this is because I played him, so I'm gonna leave him out because I don't. He honestly didn't scare me at all, so I'm gonna leave this guy out. I'm gonna start Fredo. No, actually, I'm lying. I'm gonna start Johan. I'm gonna bench Johan, the bigger one. I'm gonna bench Tronky, and I'm gonna cut Fredo.
And one we shall not name.
Yeah.
¿Está bien?
That was easy peasy game.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, better not.
Be careful, bro. Be careful.
Be careful.
I know. He likes to hear that. He gets hyped up. But
inject. And now you know what? The Vikings is a tough team. Is a tough team to gauge because you never know what Joan's gonna do.
And week 4, they're gonna have another brand new team. So
he gets
exactly.
He's like Nas. Like in the early stages, every tournament it was like a new 11 because a new team, new uniform, new everything. Joan every week, boom, new team. DD, boom, new team. So it's
it's hard to say. Really, it's really hard to say. So I just leave them out. So we'll keep it at that.
Well, I like to thank you guys for joining the show with us. But I'm gonna before we let you go. I want you guys to join us on the pick'ems for the game of the week. So, game 1 on games of the week, we got 8 a.m. So first game of the day, we have Vikings Bengals. Better start it off.
I mean, it's tough, but I'm gonna go Bengals 4-3.
Okay, Tronky.
I think I go Bengals 4-3 too. I know the game that I reffed Alfredo, bro, it was dink and dank, man. They're gonna make them people pull flags, and Joan's gonna have to pull flags. They got big.
That was a mistake I made when I played him.
Yeah, I think 4-3 Bengals.
Peter.
Bengals 4-2.
I got Bengals 4-2. Well, I said bing pam boom. Okay, game 2. Chiefs Fins 8:45 a.m. Peter, you could take this one first. Chiefs Fins.
Chiefs Fins. I got
Johan.
Fins. Another 4-2. Fins.
Tronky.
Yeah, 4-2 Finns.
Perra.
I'm gonna say 4-2 Finns, but it's gonna be close because I think that those teams match up a lot better than people think, or at least than you would think of when I see it. But I mean, if Devin comes to play, then they have a good game in their hands. If not, it should be a blowout.
I don't think that they match up at all, bro.
Why is that?
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Why is that?
I don't think that Andres or Campbell can cover Travis.
Andres is gonna rush.
So that means that Campbell's gonna have to try to cover Travis, or Devin's gonna have to cover Travis, and that's not gonna happen at all. Like it's
And he's gonna throw it to Travis.
Man,
Man, he throw it to him
that
like
bad?
that.
Bro? Who's in charge of that? That was egregious. Okay.
I didn't know who that kid was. You know, like I seen him before, but I obviously
red zone. I seen him in red zone.
fell way too far. Like
Yeah.
that guy's a mismatch for a lot of people. And if you're not going to be able to get physical with him, and like, I don't see anybody on that Chiefs team that is going to get physical with him and that can even stop him.
I got Fins too. Man. I got Fins on that one. I got Fins in a 4-3. I think Devin's gonna come out swinging, but I even look. I'm telling you right now, looking at my pick'ems, I got Fins. I got Fins going 3-0. I got a Fins 3-0. That was gonna be my bold prediction. Another Johan masterclass for this week. Game 3. Peter, I know who you picking on this one, so we'll start with you on this one. Cowboys, Giants. Tell me how it's gonna go. 4-0, 4-1.
Cowboys, Giants. Nah. I respect Chris enough to give him a few points, but and all this whole notion that I'm on, like every time somebody's trying to predict my game, everybody's saying that I'm only going to put up 2 or 3 points. It's been a while that I haven't scored 4, so just so everybody gets that one straight.
Been a while?
But I
You
got
sure
us
about that?
winning.
Been a while.
Well, all right,
You
we
sure
scored
about
3.
that?
All right, that's fine. But
All right
shut up.
then.
You suck.
All right then.
All right, so you got the
I
Cowboys.
got us 4. I got us 4. No, I'm gonna give them 4. We went 4-3.
4-3. I got you.
As a matter of fact, you scored 3 twice this season to your probably 2 worst opponents. So I don't want to hear it, buddy.
All right, so I got
My
you,
first game of the season, which was a tie.
And then you
4-3.
scored 3 against the Jaguars.
Perra, give me something. Cowboys. Giants.
I got Cowboys. Giants are going 5 hard. I'm gonna take those top 5, and I'm gonna take the so-called gimmicky offense that they're gonna run to perfection and that they're running to perfection over the Giants and Chris D trying to throw and read the field.
Tronky.
I got a 3-3 tie.
Oh, 3-3 tie? Like that?
Well, I got the Cowboys, but I got the Cowboys 3-2.
Feeling dangerous.
I got 3-3 tie.
That's not a bad one. That'll be hilarious.
Like,
It's going 1-1-1.
bro, but that's crazy. Then the Cowboys, you know what's even worse? The Cowboys go from there. Then they got to follow it up against the Bengals.
The
11
Bengals, yeah.
So then, hey, Petey, you again. Cowboys, Bengals. What's gonna
The
be
only score I see happening is us winning 4-3, because if not, they will beat us 4 to whatever we score.
got
So
you
I got us
4-2, bro.
4-3.
I got Bengals 4-2 here.
I respect it.
Perra.
Man, it's tough because I didn't have the rusher and the speed to be able to kind of take that apart. So I'm gonna say Bengals 4-3.
Bengals 4-3. Tronky.
I'm going
1-1.
I'm going
Huh?
Cowboys 4-3.
Oh, you're going Cowboys. I thought, bro, if you give me another tie, I'm like, yo, you're the guy who plays a dollar you're the guy who plays a dollar in a ¿cuál es el juego ese que me ponía en casa de mi abuela? The one that
Bingo.
No. They'll put on Channel 4, the thing you roll the wheel, you put the dollar amount, you guess what?
The price is right. What are you talking
Price
about,
is
bro?
right. This guy's the dollar guy. Este es el tipo que se lleva $1 para hacerse el inteligente. Freaking tie. This guy
Like
freaking calling a tie.
Bro, I like David and Peter picking on the tier 4, Jonathan.
Yeah, no, I can see that also happening, or just David getting in Fredo's head. But I don't know, bro. It's just the fact that AJ and Julio G's angry. The kid's playing angry.
Yeah.
Like, the tipo está bravo, but like no, like take it easy, you know. But I just the Bengals, they're playing with attitude. You know, that 12 for 12, that's nasty. So yeah. Okay, so those are you got Cowboys, so that's 2 Cowboys, 2 Bengals, and then everything else. All right, so we're on record, gentlemen. Thank you too for being on the show with us, for adding to DD Live. You guys give us a different perspective from the show, and we appreciate you. Hopefully we see you guys soon. Thank you guys for being on.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate it. Dale,
it.
guys.
All right, boys.
See you Saturday, guys. Dale.
And P, fuck you.
That was fun, man. Give me a bold prediction. I already told you what my bold prediction is gonna be. I got Bengals. I got Bengals going 3-0, and I got Fins going 3-0.
Yeah, Bengals and Fins.
I got
Damn,
Bengals
so you
and
got
Fins both going 3-0. That's my, and I'll parlay it all 6.
6. Man, that's tough. I got let me give me a second. Let me see Giants schedule again. Yeah, I was gonna say them 0-3, but I just don't see how they lose to the Ravens.
So no, I got the Giants beating the Ravens, and
But then I got them losing the next 2 games.
and I got them beating the BUCS. I got them going 2-1, losing to the Cowboys.
I'm gonna say fuck it, bro. Bold prediction: Giants 0-3, baby.
Sorry, bro. You really love like teams that are doing good. Bro, I got mad. Que Tronky didn't do the pow pow pow.
No, bro, but I mean, I think missing Molly is a big piece because Molly's very underrated, and
yeah, for sure.
he's like right here, but then I feel like then he's like up here when he plays with Chris.
Right.
Because they have that chemistry. Chris knows how to
so
get
many seasons
like
together. It's not their first
exactly. So like I feel like Chris knows how to get him going, how to get him going, man. And Molly plays that much harder for Chris. And I think they're gonna miss that, man. I think that's gonna be a big piece that a lot of people are on, he doesn't show up in the stat sheet, right? But he'll have a crucial sack. He'll have and he's engaged, right? He's gonna talk his shit. He knows his role. And he plays, and he's a tier 6 on steroids when he plays for Chris D. So I think that's a bigger miss than people might anticipate it, that given he's a tier 6. So I got Giants 0-3 without Molly. Heavy.
Well, gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. It's been a fun show. Can't wait to see you guys out in week 3. Thank you for PK Realty for sponsoring this show. As always, it is our pleasure. DD is life. Go have fun. Go score some tutties. And as always, have fun, gentlemen. We out.
Gang.
There's a lot of people here who are soft. What's